real deep top trio here of our Bella Gilts, and I think all offer a lot of quality, and the easy thing to do for me. The hard thing to do is to find her. I don't know how I missed her coming in. I apologize, young man. You got a real good one to win the drive. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Shape and muscle, a center body. That gilt puts a lot of good things together. A real attractive headed kind of a hog that still opens up good. The center part of her body. A lot of positive things to start this drive. I thought second and third were close. I just read one with a little more reach, a little more length to hip. That gives the advantage the young man's got, our second place gilt. I like this gilt on the side and knows how to show her on the side, because that's where she's best. She's a really attractive kind of a hog. Just maybe want to crack her open a little bit off both ends compared to our class winner, but a real nice kind of a gilt to be second. As heavy duty as any of them, that's going to be our third place gilt. She's a huge forearm, big legged kind of a gilt. She's a little flatter in her forerib and center body, maybe just not quite as coordinated the way she moves. She's out on the corners behind, just maybe want to tuck her in ever so slightly, but a real nice kind of a gilt to be third. The fourth place gilt is the black-headed gilt the young man's got there. Is a real powerful kind of a gilt. Good center body kind of a hog. She gets a little shorter off both ends. I don't think her markings help her. She just need to lengthen her a little bit. But she's as heavy bone. Ones like that I think can be taken home to make barrows because she's the right frame size. Looks like an easy flushing kind of a hog. I think a nice kind of a gilt. Just want to stretch her just a little bit there. Pull a little bit off the center part of her body for the show ring today. The loud color gilt that comes out next is on the other side of the spectrum in terms of build and design. Just a little fragile in her features. We just need to make her just heavier bone, give her a little more length to hip at the same time. But it's excellent presented kind of a gilt that gives you a great look on the side. Just need to see more heaviness and structure for a gilt to her plate. Another one that gives you a great eye appeal. Just need to crack her open coming at you in terms of just squaring her knee up ever so slightly. She's a little harsher in her forerib and center body. And where I want to be critical on this one, love her from the side. Just need to fix her hind leg as she goes away. Next one comes out. I talked to this young lady. She just wants to swing her hip a little bit more than ideal. Got some muscle, got some shape. I did do the main exhibitors. Once again, let's congratulate those young people with a round of applause.
Eighth place.
So looks like we're back on Class 11, Division 2 of the Crossbred. So we've got now finally someone good in the commentating booth. We got Krisha Geffert from Mormon Showtech, and they're a great sponsor of our event here. And Krisha's commentated the last couple of years. Krisha, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Worked the barrow show with Kaylee last year. I think she's at home in Indiana, or where does she live now? Iowa? I'm not sure.
Not sure. So anyway, we were on Class 11. So what we've been kind of doing, Krisha, is as they go to the scale, we'll talk them as they go to the scale, and then Travis puts them up and reweighs them.
I'd help you with the number there, but can't find one on him.
Yeah, I think that guy's got it stuck in his back pocket. He's going to pull it out there. Looks like the 4326. Travis Higgins from Livermore, California, No Limit Genetics hog, sired by Out of Breath. Assume that is a out of line sired boar there, probably originated there at Wintex.
I kind of got in on that last division late, but it looked like the Wedding Blues board did pretty well there.
Did a way good job. That one was pretty stout featured, good built. That was a really nice one, and we talked about that a little. That boar will definitely put plenty of structure in them. Yeah, it's raining inside this building, isn't it? A lot of moisture dripping from the roof. Travis had quite a bit on his back there a minute ago.
Yeah, surely he's not working hard enough to sweat as cold as it is here.
No, that's for darn sure. Not in here. Yeah, you come to Arizona expecting a little warm weather, and then it's crappy and cold.
3-layer kind of day.
Yeah, for sure. And trust me, it doesn't get any warmer in here. They open that door and that wind blows underneath this little backdrop here behind us, and it's like
Got
a
the
blast chiller.
4280 hog going in the scale, it looks like.
Landed-
Landon Roberts, Thompson and Son Genetics. This is a wedding day.
Again, the wedding night deal continues to surface directly or indirectly today quite a bit. Obviously, Division 1's the Wedding Blues hog there. That's a wedding night sired boar.
How many head of crossbred gilts did they end up with, Shannon?
I think we ended up total. We got a count of total hogs. We were 962 or 960 total hogs. I think in this crossbred deal we ended up with about 400 is what we ended up with in the crossbred division, just slightly over 400.
Who was that? 7045, I think, but I'm not finding the.
Probably on the next page there. Yep. I'll let you butcher that last name.
Wolfenbarger, I believe. Generation X Farms out of California there, Alan Rios. And that's a gilt sired by Flash. She is flashy colored for sure.
For sure. The young lady's from Blythe, California. I didn't know we had anybody here from Blythe. Got a few folks over there, customers over there. Michael Mullion, they show a few hogs, but mainly they're cattle people.
Those cattle people do make good hog people.
There you go. You know that, huh?
Well, I haven't quite convinced my husband of it yet, but we're working on him.
Little time, right? Little time. Bound to need some sows in Wisconsin, don't you?
You know, I'd love for him to be listening right now just to hear what he thinks of that, but
Well, maybe we have to replay the feed for him so he can hear that, right? Found out about I have plenty of space for 20 sows there.
wouldn't even notice them.
Nah, he's got plenty of work going on. He'd be all right. So it looks like he's got, 4 through the scale that he's going to rerun here at the top end, and he's releasing the bottom. But what do you think? Lots of talk back there in the back, Krisha. A lot of people here, a lot of action over there at your booth.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. I just continue to be impressed with the way this show grows over the years. We have James Cyphers over there too, so big personality. People obviously come by to visit with James.
Well, yeah, just for a little bit of entertainment, right?
That's absolutely for sure. Part comedian.
Question on this last cross.
So we had a question lady behind us, and I know what she's asking. That she said they were placed in different slots in the ribbon, but they may have been in pin 5, but they were actually 7th place because he leaves a couple out. So I'm sure that's what she's asking there behind us. You guys heard that feedback there on the back, but some of these classes are 16, 17 in a class, so there's only 12 pins, so he had to place a few and pull them back. So here he goes. He's gonna. Looks like leave a couple out and then rerun this top end, and heavy structured kind of a gilt there.
That's the out of breath gilt, I believe.
Yep, that's a no limit genetic hogs, moderate frame, big legged.
I think we missed this one as she came in the scale.
Yeah, we did. That one must have done a quick
that one is
turnaround.
big legged.
Ooh-wee, that one's plenty big legged for sure. What is that one? I can't see that number. Blind to one eye and can't see out of the other one.
4653.
Blake Ether from California. Jim Thompson Swine Genetics. That's an undisputed hog. I think that undisputed boar's there at Premium Blend, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. We used a little of him and got along pretty well.
Yeah. Is that boar bred by Weisinger, maybe? Undisputed? I can't remember. That one is plenty stout. No doubt about that. Woo! Plenty of hog there. Well,
The gilt over on the edge is one up-headed,
yeah,
neat profiling.
really pretty profiling
the
kind of a gilt.
Wedding day gilt.
Wedding day. Another wedding night deal. There at Upper Hand Genetics. That's It's a neat gilt. Kind of some differences. I've been really impressed with Travis's ability to not have to make them all match and look exactly right, but to pick all the good parts and pieces and put it all together, and the one with the most positive gets to the top. And I think that's hard for me to do sometimes. But looks like the calico gilt ends up 4.
Yeah, there's some polar opposites out there in terms of type and kind.
Yeah, for sure. I can appreciate that. Young lady there that, again, the 70-45 ends up in 4th place.
It's the Generation X hog, I believe.
Yep, Gen X hog, sired by Flash. For sure flashy. Nice kind of a gilt there in 4th. Well, which one's he going to use? I guess kind of my favorite's this undisputed hog here, but doesn't really matter. That or the wedding day hog, probably.
Yeah, that wedding day hog is made awful nice.
On the top of this class, and I think all 3 velvet gilts bring a lot of positives to the table. I guess for me, the longer I study them, what I want to take home in terms of breeding value, it still offers a lot of quality. Young man right here in the vest is going to win the drive. Let's give him a nice round of applause. I like that gilt a great deal in terms of her skeleton and the way she ties into her back shape, and got a big cage working in her. At the same time, she's as heavy boned as anything. Maybe at times I can't get a great read on the way she takes her steps. She takes a little quicker step, but I think angles are right. I think everything reads true there. I think a nice place to start. Second place is going to be the young lady's gilt over here, one that's extremely heavy skeleton. She's very attractive on the side in terms of the way her head ties in. She's not quite as comfortable up in her front feet as our class winner, but one that does offer some length of body, high quality underlying kind of a gilt. Doesn't quite tie into her ham loin hookup as good as our class winner. The gilt in 3rd, by no means you would think you load a gilt like this, she's going to be 3rd. Why she gets beat is her heaviness of skeleton. She needs a little bit bigger hind leg for me at this particular weight, but awesome on the side. In terms of body, presentation, young man does a great job driving her. Need to see a bigger hind leg working in her, maybe just give her a little more feature all the way through, but a real good kind of a gilt to stand 3rd in a good class. 4th place is a calico gilt, and that one offers some barrel making abilities in terms of moderation and frame size. Good center kind of a hog that offers top shape. She's plenty big enough as she goes away. Just for me, she's a little shorter around her out of her hip. Maybe not quite as comfortable. Maybe want to elevate her ever so slightly up in her front end compared to a few of the other ones. Solid white gilt comes out next. I think the longer the drive goes on, went to her advantage because she stayed together structurally good enough. One way I just want to stretch her a little bit off both ends, give her a little more security out of her hind leg. At the same time, the one that I do like in terms of shape and muscle, heaviness and structure, I think a nice solid white gilt there to land where she did. The next one comes out, gives you frame and extension, need more center body, need just more flesh and time on that one. I visited with the Ranger exhibitors. Once again, congratulations to them. Let's take them off with a round of applause. First place in Class 11, Travis Higgins. Second place, Blake Eller. Third place, Landon Roberts. Fourth place, Reese Barter. Fifth place, Caitlin Wetzer. Sixth place, Macy Taylor. Seventh place, Caitlin Seisman. Eighth place, Ashley Street. Ninth place, Jaden Lackey. 10th place, Kelly Corin. Congratulations. And the ring is Class 12 with weights from 260 to 264.
Yeah, on that last class we talked about all those differences. Obviously he used the one that power hog, and then puts the one in 3rd, and you talk about mating them for the next generation, though. Those gilts all have value.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. We'll get those placings. I'm sure you guys heard them. And yeah, the straight whiskey hogs ends up in 3rd. Yeah, that one's the sow power down the road. Stouting her feature up a little bit, and that one's pretty good. So coming out now, let's see, we got the 6580 here close to us. Megan Guerin from Pin Valley, California, Gold Star Show Pigs. That's a wedding night hog. Close to us here is Lexi Hunt. Lexi's a local girl. Oh, right here, that's Ottenwalter hog, Wedding Blues hog.
60s.
Emily Contessa right here in front of us. That is another local girl. That's an Ottenwalter hog sired by Straight Whiskey. Young man here, I think, goes to the scale. That's 70-78. Gauge winners, Altus, Oklahoma. John Hines bred hog, Dirty Secret. No need for introduction to that boar. Saw last night he's named Man of the Year.
Deservingly so, I would say.
I would say going to be pretty tough to beat that one and for Man of the Year honors, no doubt.
Looks like they put Justin Little with Showbloom to work today.
There we go.
He's out there in the ring, opening gates.
Give him a job, right?
Absolutely.
Appreciate their support. So Emily's in the scale now.
What'd you say that hog was, Shannon?
That's a Straight Whiskey hog. That hog's continued to get better and better. She's jackpotted that hog around the state here, and that one's just continued to get better time. I think those Straight Whiskey hogs are a little greener earlier, and as they mature, seem to get better. 1726. Did we talk about that one?
Lindley.
Small Town Genetics, Shot Fired hog. James has had a good run today so far. Had some at the top end of that first division, and class winners had a good day. They had, young lady that's right there, in fact, had, champion Poland and maybe champion Landrace.
Hamp.
Oh, yeah, Hamp.
Whitney
Yeah,
Whitaker. That's dang nice
sure.
Hamp Gilt.
You bet. That was a dang good Hampshire.
Over there giving a little coaching. Kind of fun to see some of these older kids help the younger kids out.
Without a doubt. Pretty cool. That's what the program's about.
It's raining. Yeah, did you get rained on out there too? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Bo's over here saying it's raining inside, you know. Need an umbrella in the barn, Bo. Looks like Travis is sending one more to the pin there. Looks like he's going to weigh 3 in this class. It's interesting to watch how these hogs start to break down and change as they get with size and age.
We're still on the small side of size for what's yet to come.
Yeah, we got midgets in here compared to the what's coming. We're at 260 now. We're going to end up pushing 400 by the time we get to the way back in the end class. So I like to see them at this weight. This is what they ought to be weighing in a market show. So kind of gives you an indication of what those things are going to produce down the road. At least for me, it does. We sound like a broken record over here. Some, Krisha, we talk about Ottenwalter a lot, and it's no bias. It just happens to be by sheer numbers. Of course, quality is there, but I think that group's got about a fourth of the hogs in the barn this week. Again, the young lady that's going in the 5th hole there, that is an Ottenwalter hog. That's Lexi Hunt, local girl.
He's gonna catch
Did she order lunches?
Weigh one more back here, Shannon.
Yeah, I found another one there, didn't he? One hiding out in the corner there, maybe. We got there. Got a Team Ottenwalter towel. That's the 6580.
Megan Guerin right there.
There we go. Gold Star Show Pigs wedding night.
Wedding night.
So we got 70, 78 down on the far end.
Is that the Dirty Secret down there?
I think that's the Dirty Secret hog down there. Yeah, for sure.
That one is durable.
That one's plenty durable. That board had no lack in the structure category. Excuse me. And we got Emily Contessa with
the solid black hog.
Solid black straight whiskey hog. Ironically enough, that boar's blue and that gilt is straight black. Probably could use a little more structured bone, but that one's got good look from the side. Her belly may not be feeling good. She's a little humped up. The 1726 hog down there.
It's the small town hog.
Small town hog, shots fired. And then
Pretty.
Pretty hog, super pretty. Yeah, no doubt about it. And then the 6580.
It's the wedding night from Gold Star. Gonna go ahead and put the Contessa hog fourth.
Probably where she needs to be today. Probably needs a little more structure and a little soft on those front. We'll see what Travis says. Good, buddy.
I think another one of those for me, I think falls together pretty logical and pretty easy for me. Young man over here is going to win the drive. It does so pretty easy. Let's get him a nice round of applause. He's got the power gilt that offers the most bone, the most center body, and a sound-footed kind of a package. You see the coolest up in her head neck. Oh, but she's good enough for me in this particular class. I think a nice sound-footed heavy-duty gilt to win the drive. Young lady's going to be second. She's working her way up. Let's give her a nice round of applause. You've got a great design kind of a gilt that gives you a good look on the side. Maybe not the heaviest bone by any means. We need to make her heavier structured. I like her skeleton better than our gilt in third and fourth. That's why she ends up in second. Good skin and hair in that gilt as well. Just need to make her heavier structured for me. The gilt in third is one that gives you a nice attractive look in her head and neck. Just need to give her more reach and go out of her hip and hind leg. The one that does balance up nice on the side. Got some shape, got some muscle working down her top. Just need to make her heavier skeleton at the same time. The fourth place gilt that comes out is one that gives you another nice attractive kind of a look. A little bigger in her type and kind. Just runs out of power in her stifle. We need to see more muscle in her stifle shape. Give her more bone at the same time. Next one comes out, does have the advantage on bone and probably follows the class winner in terms of that. But at the same time, she's a little flatter in her front feet, not near as secure out of her hip and hock, and gets a little shorter coupled all the way through, up front and behind. When you can stretch her off both ends, thought she had enough power, muscle, and center body, needed to land in that hole. The black gilt that comes out next is another one. Young lady does a good job showing her positives off because she's good on the side. She just needs cracked open up front and behind. For me, we just need to spread her all the way through. But she's an attractive, good-made, sound-footed kind of a gilt. I visited with the remainder of the exhibitors. Once again, let's encourage them as they head back to the barn with a nice round of applause.
First place is Gage Winters in that class. Second place, Megan Guerin. Third place, Madeline Lindley. Fourth place, Emily Contessa. Fifth place, Caitlin Wiltzer. Sixth place, Lexi Hunt. Seventh place, Trinity Law. Eighth place, Riley Smith. Ninth place, Ashley Knepp. And in 10th place, Parker Frazier. Congratulations. We're going to take about a 2-minute break here real quick for a nature break. We'll be right back.
All right, Krisha. Well, we got us crowded in here like a sardine in this corner here. It's not made for big guys. So the first one out of the pen there
This
is
class 13 with weights 265
Christopher
and
Contessa.
268.
That's an Ottenwalter hog sired by Straight Whiskey.
Another blue hog, Donna Hicks from California. That's a No Limits. Sired by Out of Breath. I think we just learned a little on the pedigree of that one.
That one is a, what did he say that one was? An Oxygen. That one is a one that the guys there at No Limit raised, and that's a Wintex background deal.
That's an interesting creature.
You betcha.
6433 gets a pen. That's her right there.
Yep, Christopher Contessa's first one in the scaled in the 6433. That's the one we just talked about, isn't it?
Yeah, the young lady headed in is the Out of Breath next.
Plenty
It's gonna
stout, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one coming at you is impressive.
It's amazing to see the number of blue hogs we have coming.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Now that
Time you show it tomorrow.
Okay.
Taggers are in the office. You need a tagger.
Okay.
You need somebody to tag it.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Okay.
That's funny.
young man here, 35-35.
That should be Dustin Andrus, I think. That's Super Dustin. Yeah. Ottenwalter hog, out of line hog.
He's got the wrong tag in on our number, but we'll let him slide.
We'll let him slip. 35-36, partner. He's been running around like a crazy person. Dustin had the Division 1 winner, champion.
This hog he has now is sired by Out of Line.
Which Out of Line is actually a Ottenwalter boar. So we got a little confused earlier. Apologize to those of you listening at home. We confused things a little there. Want to give credit where credit's due and not where it's not. Looks like the next one in is Tyler Nasser from Queen Creek. That's a Winmore hog, Dirty Secret. That gilt does pretty good at our state fair. I think she was a reserve, maybe even champion at our state fair of the Crossbred gilt division.
Again, those top four catching pens are all blue hogs. Stromberger, he was teasing me about that over there, but
Was
it's
he?
nice to see those blue ones come back.
I love it. I like it. Courser's probably not
That one is big-legged.
that Dirty Secret deal, man. Those hogs are big-legged. Hopefully his sons can breed on. That boar had a lot of success in the barrel ring and in the gilt ring.
Absolutely.
And there's enough Dirty Secret sons out there. There's bound to be a dozen of them that are going to do a great job. Looks like he's putting the bottom end in, and there's Garrett Lloyd.
Got Lauren Bliss still out there in the yellow.
Yeah. Lauren's hog, what is that hog? That's the 5632. That's a Corb hog. Lauren's from Chowchilla.
You got
His
Parker.
name's Dirty, so I don't know if he's Dirty Yorkshire or Dirty Secret, but or maybe he's just a dirty pig. I don't know.
Parker Franz is out there as well in the orange. He's going to catch
Oh
a
yeah,
pin.
there's Parker. Parker's in a great family there. Sure
Absolutely.
enjoyed talking to those guys. They showed up here. And
They've been coming for a lot of years to this show.
they have been coming here, great supporters.
He's going to weigh the Bliss hog now.
Go ahead and weigh one more, huh? So it looks like he's going to weigh 5 in this class. The water got a little deeper here. The ironic thing is, Krisha, there's not a black hog in the top 5. They're all 5 blues. Maybe we can incorporate a little bit of the mother trade back in there. And this gilt, this comes out is pretty cool from the
That's the
side.
Out of Breath. She is
That
interesting.
thing
I'd
is
say
a
she's
cool-
the different one out here.
She is the different one. She is the cool fronted. That is one big-footed beast. Look at the front feet on that gilt. I almost question you and go, my gosh, does she have an extra foot or dewclaw? And she doesn't. She's just huge-footed. Looks like we got two Ottenwalters, a No Limit, a Winmore hog, and
Here
And
comes
then,
the Dirty Secret, man.
the
That
Dirty
one's rib
Secret.
cage is. Love the way she's made in her forerib.
If that one's big enough in her kind, that one's pretty good for sure. So we got a Winmore, No Limit, 2 Ottenwalters, and a Corb out here. Who wins the battle today? That's a pretty deep class of crossbred gilts. There are none of those in there slouches for darn sure.
Absolutely. Again, at 265, kind of where you can evaluate these things as being pretty honest in their composition yet.
Travis ought to be happy about a class of gilts like this. Well, which one wins? Stick your neck out on this one, huh? Christopher Contessa ends up 5th with the straight whiskey gilt. Probably he's disappointed, but 5th in this class is pretty good, I'd say.
Absolutely. I think that one's just nice. She isn't as unique as some in areas.
That's
but
probably where
really
she
hits
gets
the-
beat today. Is you got some freaks in this deal.
Yeah.
So the No Limit hog is
The out of breath
4th.
hog and
Out of breath
4th.
hog is 4th. Maybe just not enough rib in that one for him. We'll see what he has to say. You know, the hog that's probably the balanced, complete one is the white one here for a female. She's not extreme in any direction, so it'll be interesting. And he's used a lot of those kind of hogs today that just kind of look like good built sows that it can go on and make the next generation better, or at least as good.
That Dirty Secret's pretty nice, too.
Dirty Secret gilt's pretty neat. She cool color pattern, big feet. You know, maybe a little soft there on her front feet, but that one's pretty neat. Big back, big pin, big legs. Gets out and goes and square. And we're going to have an interesting gilt sale tonight. Which one are you looking?
That was the Bliss hog. I remember now. I
This
was
is
trying to
really
think of
good
what that one
top
was.
end, I think, and I commend the exhibitors. It's all 3 of these offer a lot of positive things. Moving forward, with that said, I think there's a place to start. Pretty logical for me. No man down here is going to win the drive. And I think he's got the one that offers the most bone and structure. She opens up the truest coming at you, and one that I think in terms of soundness and design, I think she puts a lot of good things together. Not the cleanest or most ideal in her underline, but I call her good enough in this particular class. Second and third, I thought were close, and they're contrasting in their types and kinds. I elected to use the blue gilt to be second. I think this gilt's design from the side suits me a little bit better. She's opened up good about her shape and muscularity. I just want to shove her shoulder back just ever so slightly and give her a shot more reach up front. But I think one that puts a real good look from the side, an attractive, good prepared kind of a hog there. Nice gilt to be second. The third place gilt, apologize, young lady, I moved you up there. Just kept growing on me in terms of one that gives you a great look on the side. Doesn't overwhelm you anywhere. When she drives right at you, probably where I'm going to beat her. But man, she levels up, she's square, and she's sound. She gives you a good look from the side, and in terms of the hip and hind leg, she suits me enough that I kept moving her up, and I like her a great deal to be third. Just need to crack her open when she comes right at me. Really attractive gilt that comes out fourth, and one on the side that's striking in terms of her front 2/3, and her heaviness. The skeleton is awfully good. I just can't get past her hind leg. She needs to be corrected there. She needs to have more length to stride, and at the same time, just square her up from hock to ground. The one that gives you a killer look on the side, if she's square hocked, I think she's getting talked there, the top 2 without a question. Nice kind of a gilt to be fourth. Fifth place gilt comes out, offers power and muscularity. She's just caved in her knee too much. She's a little shorter off both ends. Need to lengthen her and give her more length to stride off both ends. I visited the remainder of the exhibitors. Congratulations to them. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Our winner of that class is Mr. Tyler Nasser, second place. Dustin Andrus, third place. Lauren Bliss. Fourth place, Donna Hicks. Fifth place, Christopher Contessa. Sixth place, Madison Lloyd. Seventh place, Parker Frazee. From eighth place, Garrett Lloyd. Ninth place, Jace Peterson. 10th place, Trinity Law. Congratulations. This will be class 14, weights from 269 to 274.
Well, you called that one, Christian, the last class there. That Dirty Secret hog, Winmore bred hog, Tyler Nasser drove. That one's pretty interesting. That one ought to be in the hunt for this division for sure.
What do we have here? That belted hog that just came out. What's that? 50-36? Yeah.
Oh, right here.
We both looked
Boy,
over
howdy.
it.
Ethan McGee, that's a Heimer hog, Dirty 239.
You just said those sons.
There's one of the sons we talked about, huh? Right back to the scale. The Dirty Heimer hog goes to the scale.
Is the young man with the blue hog here coming?
That one's on go. She ready to roll. I recognize that young man. I just got to get his back number. I can't remember my own name, let alone someone else's.
2296. Oh, that is the new.
Jaden Neugebauer. No wonder I recognize him. 3J Noogs is the breeder. That's their family. What a name. I'm going to have to give his dad a hard time. It's a wedding blue sired hog. Wedding night, wedding blues, wedding this, wedding that. There's a lot of them, and they're all doing a good job. See other Neugebauer kid there.
5537 catches the scale here. Michaela Anderson from California, another small town genetics hog. They've been getting along real well on the top side of these classes.
Sticky Bandit. That must be one of James's boars there at home. He was over here harassing the judge earlier on the behind us. Said, "Man, look at that! The poor guy's out there. I know he's not working too hard and sweating. Must be the heat he created in here and made the water drip off the ceiling." But guys, we did cut our video at the end of Division 1, so if you want to go back and watch that video down the road, we cut it at Division 1. We'll also cut after the 9 classes of Division 2, and then we will wrap up our video with Division 3, and then we will have a separate video for our final drive there at the end. So going to break it up a little so you don't have to watch 8 hours of video to come up with it. That one make the scale there.
I believe that's who it is, but I'm not for certain. I think we have another Dirty Secret here that just caught the scale. Raised by SoCo Show Pigs out of Colorado. Ralph Hinton and crew. Ellie Stevens. That hog was interesting. I didn't see her as she first came out.
I didn't either. I missed her somehow down there in the mix. As he's sorting these, we thank our sponsors again, Ott and Walter Show Pigs, for their continued.
Lauren Bliss and Faith Geiswhite, please come to the announcer stand. Lauren Bliss, Faith Geiswhite, please come to the announcer stand.
Again, our sponsors there, Ott and Walter Show Pigs, Mormon Show Tech, WW Paul Scales, Sanderson Ford, Next Level Livestock Camps, Show Bloom, Sullivan's Supply, All Flex, Glitter Dust, Judge to Win, Flextran, Tractor Supply, and Generation X Farms. Last night at our dedication ceremony, they honored Marilyn Harris there at our dedication ceremony, and she said she'd been volunteering for 38 years at the Arizona National, and she's been either chairman of the scholarship committee or been on that scholarship committee that whole time, They've given away $1 million in scholarship to over 750 different kids from around the country. So pretty awesome, the amount of money that's generated in scholarships. Probably not as much in comparison to some states, but yeah, that Gilt's pretty neat, isn't she?
Yeah, her biggest issue is the way she
wants
fights
to pick
that
her
whip
feet
a little
up.
bit.
She does
so
not want them messing with her.
She gets to fighting her on that whip and kind of.
She starts dancing there a little, doesn't she?
Don't think that's a product of structure, though. It's just purely attitude.
I think she just doesn't like what's happening to her. Sometimes those hogs get trained or work with their head a little too high, and I just don't think it looks natural. That Gilt wants to put her head up. She's not overworking her. She just doesn't want to put those feet down. So this class, we got 1 blue and 3 belted or black and white hogs. Kind of interesting, but the blue ones keep surfacing.
Sticky Banded Hog ends up 4th with Small Town Genetics. Kind of fun to sit over here and actually watch the show.
Yeah, kind of nice, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
James needs to work some anyway.
Well, that's true. We got to put him to work. He's over there sending me text messages about gaining weight over Christmas. So I don't know if anybody's seen James Cyphers lately, but he has not gained any weight.
No, he's pretty slim and trim. I call it the new version of James.
Trulicity. He could do an advertisement for them.
Yeah. Of course, still the same attitude and personality.
Well, I don't think that's ever going to change.
No. Interesting trio here. Let's see what Travis has to say.
Drive and not to sound negative because I'm not trying to be negative. I think there's just differences in type and kind and where I select to go ahead and set my priorities in this class. I think there's one that's got just a little more breeding value in terms of heaviness of structure, length of body, and frame size ratio. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man's belly gill here to win the drive. I like that gilt shape. I like that gilt heaviness of structure. I think she's the truest underneath in terms of true body width. She pushes the envelope on the way she goes behind. She has maintained that same level there, that level of comfort. I wouldn't call her ideal, but I call her good enough for this class. She's got some shape, she's got muscle, high quality underline. I think a nice gilt to start the drive with. Second and third are very close for me. The one that suits me second best from a proportion standpoint is the young man's blue gilt. Does a great job driving her. She's one that gives you a good look, plenty flexible enough up in her front shoulder and knee. Maybe you want to change your ball ever so slightly, pushing a little more condition where I want to get negative on that gilt as she comes right at me. Next gilt coming out, young lady does a great job driving this one. She's just a little more uncoordinated, the way she wants to swivel and swing her hip, probably due to her length of body. She's a little bit longer body, and I'm all right having that as long as they stay within the proportions, and I guess she doesn't proportionalize good enough for me in terms of the way she swings her hip. Gives you a nice look on the side. She opens up good enough off both ends. Just not quite as balanced, but a young lady does a great job. She's got a nice third place gilt in this drive. The fourth place gilt, another one, offers body shape and dimension. Nice looking up in her front end. She's a good center kind of a hog, just maybe not as coordinated out of her hip and haunch. The longer the drive goes on, she wants to be just wanting to stab that ankle more than ideal. The next one comes out, gives you some shape and look. One that maybe just not quite as length, needs more length off both ends. She needs to be stretched up front and behind. She's got a good center body working here, a little coarser about her underline, but a nice quality kind of a hog there to land in the middle of the drive. The next one comes out as a blue gilt that feet and legs, I guess, is where she got over a few of the other ones there. Just gets a little bit longer body, not quite as proportional as some of the other ones. I visited with the remainder. Congratulations to them. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
First place, Ethan McKeague. Second place, Jay Neuenbauer. Third place, Ellie Stevens. Fourth place, Michaela Anderson. Fifth place, Caleb Ledage. 6th place. Kyle Orr, 7th place. Maya Vertigo, 8th place. Jordan Ehrenberger, 9th place. Haley Attic, and in 10th place, Kendall Guest. Congratulations. Now we're ready for class 15 with weights from 275 to 281.
Unless that Heimer Gilt ends up first. I guess one that maybe had the most unique piece in terms of look from the side. Stout featured out of the Dirty Secret Son, Dirty 239. Second went to Jaden, that home-raised Wedding Blues Gilt. Third was the Dirty Secret, raised by SoCo Show Pigs, Ellie Stevens in Colorado. And fourth, Sticky Bandit Gilt, shown by Michaela Anderson, raised by Small Town Genetics.
Guess I hadn't paid a lot of attention, but we started talking about the blue hog deal. Pretty crazy. There's a lot more than ever that I've seen in the last 5, 6, 8 years even, maybe. I don't know.
I think the Facebook Live is pretty interesting. I just had to ask Shannon if they were doing it in all the barns. Kind of a neat deal where you get to see all the shows versus maybe some of that webcasting in the past.
No commentators in other barns. So cattle, sheep, and goat barns do not have commentators, but there is a Facebook Live feed. If you want to go over there, you got somebody you want to watch. Of course, we're pretty biased, and we think the hog barn's the best one, but again, all those other barns have got feeds going on there, just not any commentators. A little easier. Those animals stand still. These hogs move around a lot, so kind of got to chase them a little. Looks like the first one to the scale is the 2803. Who do we have there?
Justin Lee, No Limit Genetics again, another one-sided by that out-of-breath boar.
Boar's done a good job today. 4056.
Sammy Cole, Merced, California. Sired by, well, don't know.
It's a Swanson bred hog, sired by X. I don't assume that that's who it is. They put that in there again, guys at home. If you want us to know who your sire and dam is, we need you to put that in when you enter those hogs so we can give the recognition where it's due.
$65.70. Am I missing it? Oh, yep.
Yep, right there.
How do you pronounce that last name?
Oh, Lane Masick.
It's a Heimer hog. Another Dirty 239.
From Perry, Michigan. That young man drove a long ways. We talked to him and his mom when they got here, and I think they left on the 23rd. We appreciate that. A lot of people sacrifice their Christmas to come to this show, and we think that's pretty neat.
I think they said, 29 states represented here?
In the hog show, 29 states, and there's 30 states represented in the show altogether, so we got 29 of the 30 in the hog barn, so pretty awesome.
So what's the long-term plan if this thing continues to grow? They're going to have to set up a tent in the parking lot, or?
We're going to do whatever we got to do. We visited about that several of the, I'm not going to call them old-timers, but several of the folks that have been involved here on this thing for a long time. We got to visit last night at our dedication ceremony, and every one of them said, we hadn't been here in a few years or hadn't been through, but man, your hog barn is incredibly packed with pigs, and what do we got to do to help you get more pens and more space? And will they show out of tents? And I said, I think people will show out of whatever they got to show out of. They just want to come, and we're appreciative of that. We've got some space that we can make happen and get some more pens bought and located and loosen things up in the back here a little. It's really tight in the back, and And but people are still coming. I mean, it's been tight the last few years because it's hard to fit 1,000 head of hogs in a barn. So good problem to have. We appreciate the growth. We're going to just keep pushing forward to accommodate that growth.
Those of you at home, if you haven't made it to Phoenix yet, it's really evolved and an awesome place to bring your family over the holidays.
For sure. You know, we've said it a lot of times on here, Krisha. I think when we started this thing and you guys started coming, that was 5 years ago. Is that right? I think this is the 5th year. I think the 6 years ago we were at 112 hogs in the barn. A small portion of the back of the barn here was barrows. We had no gilt show. There was feeder calves in this barn. This side was the whole ag mechanic stuff, and our show was, the quality was good but not nearly as deep, and we went from 112 to where we are today in a short period of time. So with that, there's growing pains always. You know, you 10 times your numbers in 5 years. That's 200% growth every year, and that's pretty incredible.
Got 150 people watching right now.
150. Where the heck are the rest of you? At one point in time last year, I think we had about 800 on Walton. You people need to step up and get on here and watch.
So we didn't go ahead and weigh those hogs, right? Those two in the center?
They did.
Oh,
they did.
We missed that while we were talking. 58.25. It's a visionary.
That one's got plenty of power.
Breeder Alan Rios, which is Generation X Farms on that hog.
That one ends up 5th. Probably got to bring that one in off the corners a little bit. White hog here, probably not enough feature for him.
So Wedding Blues. Tawny Roberts, family that had some success at the Colorado State Fair last year. Hog raised by Otten Walters.
I'm going to say he's going to use a balance in this class. Be interesting. Different parts and pieces here. We'll see what Travis has to say. But
Again, we got the Heimer hog as the belted gilt. Dirty 239 is the sire on that one.
Blue gilt on the far end, probably be fixed at her knee just a tick, but here's Travis. We'll see what he has to say. He's in charge.
Another real class, and I think one that fell together relatively easy for me, and I think the 3 gilts out here exemplify some build and design, get up to 3. There's one that's just got a little more in the center part of her body. She's got the loosest and most correct hind leg. Let's congratulate the young man over here with the belted gilt. He's going to win the drive. And I think does so pretty easily. She's got the best hip and hind leg, a gilt that gives you a great look on the side. Good flesh, good center body. I think a nice place to start. Second place is going to be the young man with this blue gilt. She's got a lot of value to me. I think one that offers an extremely heavy skeleton. She's just a little harsher for me, I guess, in the center part of her body. This looks like she just doesn't quite have enough flesh. I need to bulk her up a little bit for this particular weight. The one that I think's got a lot of breeding value because her look and design, her heaviness of skeleton is incredibly good. Just need to see a little more power, a little more in the center part of her body to get her any higher. Real powerful gilt that lands in 3rd. One that's got some shape and muscularity. She probably follows type and kind in terms of that center body and power as our class winner. For me, she's too low set up front. She's a little lower fronted. That's probably why she's down on her pastures. The one that I do like, good hind leg, a heavy bone kind of a gilt, gives you a good look when she goes away. She's extremely powerful. Need to make her more elevated and correct her front pastures to get her any higher. Next one comes out, offers some body and shape. She's a little shorter couple, a little rounder out of her hip. Doesn't quite match down low in terms of bone work. As stout and as wide as she is, we just need to stouten her feature up. But one that I do like in terms of looks like an easy fleshing kind of a gilt. You just spread her a little bit at the ground as she goes right away. A calico gilt that comes out next is one that's got a little a design look in terms of her head and neck, and I don't know if it quite matches into her body. She's a little overfilled or over-conditioned for me because she looks a little shorter and dumpier the longer the drive goes on comparing to this weight. The one that does offer some shape, does offer some dimension. Want to tuck her in a little bit there. She get right behind her. She pushes the limits. I visited with the remainder of the exhibitors here, some things we've changed. This gill here, we want to correct her hind leg ever so slightly, give her a little more muscle. That gill needs more body. Looks like she came into heat, maybe not eating, if I'm guessing there. So that young lady's disadvantaged. She's got a high quality gill. Just need to see her fuller. Congratulations to all the exhibitors. Once again, let's put our hands together as they head back.
Our winner of that class is Lane Mazik. First place. Second place, Justin Lee. Third place, Sammy Cole. Fourth place, Tony Roberts. Fifth place, Adam Jimenez. Sixth place, Michaela Morwall. Seventh place, Haley Attic. Eighth place, Emma Betancourt. Ninth place, Trent Ackerman. 10th place, Peyton Notice. Congratulations, everyone. Next class will be class 16 with weights from 282 to 285.
All right, guys, we're back. Hopefully you heard those placings on that last class. Krisha, we had somebody text you and say, hey, how about a shout-out on the Facebook? You got to tell us who you are. She's got about 10,000 telephone numbers in there. Shoot us a text. We'll give you a shout-out. You may not like what we say, but we're going to give you a shout-out anyway and maybe tease you a little bit. So.
I have no name saved with that. I think I have my suspicions of who it is. So you got to let us know on Facebook who you are.
Well, he puts that one straight in the scale. That's Tristan Rasco. 68.41. I would just about assume that is a Heimer hog.
Lackey Livestock.
Lackey Livestock. Lackey hog. Home of
Dirty himself.
the man, Dirty Secret, right? Now I see Jackie sitting over there in the front row. Jason was there a minute ago.
I assume he's pacing around somewhere at this point.
Yeah, he's probably burning up the asphalt in the back. Next one in the scale there, quick turnaround. We'll have to see his number. He's got it covered up with a sweatshirt. $28.81. Who is that one?
Landon Coryell.
That's Landon Coryell from Burlington, Colorado. Another SoCo, Dirty Secret sired.
I'm kind of wondering if that wasn't a litter mate to the one that ended up
Trent?
third in the last
Got Trent
class.
Ackerman next to the booth here. He's going to the scale again. He's been there a few times today. That is the 54.36 of Trent's going through the scale. That is a Lone Pine Livestock hog sired by Shine On. That is Trent Ackerman bred that one himself. He also is the one that bred the straight whiskey boar that's at Ottenwalter's. Trent's a hard-working young man.
Looks like Blaine Lee is going to catch the scale here next.
Blaine Lee, and I'd just almost bet you that's an Ottenwalter bred hog. 69.92. Imagine that. Yep, that's a Cowboy Swag hog.
Young man won showmanship last night.
Yes, he
Works
did.
awful hard.
He killed it. Killed it.
He's getting some back talk from the peanut gallery over here.
Yeah, we got James Backman in the peanut gallery. I know, what the heck? He wins showmanship, pig won't go on the scale, yeah? Yeah, the world knows. Yeah, well, got to call a
That
guy
wasn't
out
his
when he needs it,
showmanship
right? There we go, yeah. That one didn't get worked as much, James. There you go. You gotta like. You gotta pick on the ones you like, right? There you go. We're gonna pick on James because he won't come sit in the booth. So. Yeah, I know. That's the way it goes, James. I get picked on a lot, but I don't know that it's because they like me. I'm just an easy target and don't know when to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, that's what it is, right there. Yeah.
Shannon, you got to tell us a little about the desert because we woke up this morning and I think it was freezing. Does that kill the vegetation in the desert?
Nah, I don't think that anything kills the vegetation in the desert. Heat, cold, nothing. But it's definitely not the normal Phoenix weather. You walk out of the hotel first thing in the morning. Okay, this is not our type of weather. Normally we get about 5, 6, maybe 7 days a year that it freezes and gets below 32. We're pretty spoiled. And it was about 30 today in Phoenix out at the farm. We live about 80 miles west here. It's 25 this morning. And up north, it's a little chilly. It's in the low teens this morning up north. My wife is deer hunting, and she's probably freezing this morning. So somebody sent us a note and said, introduce ourselves again. I'm Shannon Schultz, and board of directors here at Arizona Nationals, and the spring committee. We've been on this about 5 years, and we farm, raise a few show pigs, and sell some Mormon Showtech feed. And in the booth with this, I'll let Krisha introduce herself to you.
Krisha Gefford. I live in Wisconsin now, originally from Wyoming and a few places in between, but I sales rep for ADM Showtech. I'm fortunate enough to have a booth here and get to come to Phoenix when it's pretty cold in Wisconsin, so can't complain about that. Have some cattle in Wisconsin and a few sows with my mom in Wyoming, so I'm kind of torn between the two barns, but I'm pretty partial to the hog barn.
It's okay to like them both, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like Travis has kind of got that bottom end sorted down and working through these to see who else he's going to hold. That one there in the middle, the black hog, is Jace Reinhardt. That's the 70-40. Jace catches a pin.
Madeline Lindley with the Small Town Genetics hog again. That one's a dirty good. Left out there. And
going to go ahead and weigh the blue one. Blue one he weighs here is pretty stout. Who is that one? 3065. Did we just talk about that one? Yeah. Out in Walter Hogg.
Amanda Carter.
Yeah, I think her mom and dad are veterinarians up in that part of the world in Washington. Good family, and really gotten into this deal here as of late. They've been to show camp up there, I think, and they're on it.
Another Wedding Blues that gilt was.
The Wedding Blues that Wedding Blues board does a good job, man. He will put the structure, as you know, man. They are no lack of stoutness and feature in those hogs. We've had a really good run with that boar.
Comes the dirty secret that Lackey raised. Tristan, no stranger to success out here in the show ring in Arizona, too. I know she's won this deal before.
Yeah, she had champion gilt here last year. Her banner's up in the show ring here. She had the champion cross gilt here last year. Another dirty secret sired gilt there. We tried pretty hard to buy that one and didn't get it done. I think that one ends up bringing $25,000 and goes back home.
And when is that sale tonight, Shannon?
That sale tonight is at 6:30. Yes, it is. So anybody from home that is interested, get in touch with us there. Send us a message on Facebook if you want some contact phone numbers, and we'll send you those contact phone numbers. But you can call myself, Jeff Maynard, Kevin Rogers. Maybe even better, you can call Jeff or Clay from CPS and NSR. They're here working the ring. They can get your bids taken tonight. But we announced earlier the 22 purebreds that are going to go into the sale. Brian Anderson's boy there catches a pin in the 6th spot. Andrew.
Amanda Carter from Washington ends up 5th.
5th. Wedding Blues hog ends up in the 5th spot. Fourth is that young man there is got to get his number. 20. Yeah, the 2881 ends up in 4.
It's that dirty secret of raised by SoCo show pigs out of Colorado, Landon Coryell. pretty good group of people from Colorado made it out.
You bet. I had a lot of Colorado people. The weather was decent getting here. They had a little trouble there in New Mexico, northern Arizona. But so it looks like we got Trent Ackerman, Blaine Lee, and Tristian Roscoe left. And here's Travis to tell us who he's going to use.
Real deep class, and I think quality runs deep all the way through. I think we're down to 7-8 in this class that offer some differences, and hard decision here on the top end. And the hard decision for me is what's second and third, because the Calico Gilt wins. She wins pretty easily. Let's congratulate this young lady. I like this Gilt design. I think she's proportional. She's a heavy skeleton kind of a hog. Offers look, offers design, and a sound-footed kind of a package. I think a real good place to start. Second and third, I think are close, and they're similar, but there's still some differences. One I like second best is the young man in front of me. I like that Gilt, this design up in her front end. Does a phenomenal job showing this Gilt. She gets a little shorter step, and if I want to get critical on her, not quite as full in the center part of her body, but I do like her look. I do like her design in this particular class. Young man's got one, and third, it's extremely well prepared. I mean, skin and hair is on point. That Gilt just gets a little fragile for me, the way she plants and drives out of her hind leg. About every third or fourth step, she doesn't quite have the security that I like to see, the one that I do like. I think she follows Type and Kind as our first placement in terms of proportion. Just for me, she needs to be a shot more mobile out of her right hind. Does a great job driving her. Nice showman there that does a great job with great skin and hair. Fourth placement offers body shape and muscle, one that's probably as heavy skeleton as anything in the top four. With that said, she's a little jammed up in her front end. She's a little shorter and rounder couple, maybe not quite as comfortable. She's kind of out on the corners there. Doesn't quite bow, but doesn't have the security that I like to see. Blue belted Gilt comes out next. I moved her up. I think endurance-wise, she's awfully good there. She gives you a great look on the side. She's too closed up in her chest. She's too closed up from hock to ground when I get right behind her. But in terms of body and dimension and shape, she has a lot of good things working for her there. Just need to crack her open off both ends. Nice prepared kind of a Gilt as well to land in the middle of the drive. Here's one that I love in terms of skeleton. Her hip and hind leg is near impeccable because she can plant and reach. She's too dry bodied. I'm not sure young man probably didn't get her to eat the way it looks, because naturally that Gilt is going to be a tremendous kind of a sow because her pastures are up. She's elevated. She's long body. Just need to see more in the center part of her body. Young man does a good job driving her. Just need to see her a little bit fuller. Ran into a real competitive kind of a class. The next Gilt does have more body and dimension. She's also too far forward in her shoulder, not near as comfortable out of her hip and hind leg. A nice kind of a Gilt there, just need to see more security all the way through. I visited with the remainder of the class. Congratulations to them, extremely good top end. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
First place in class 16, Tristian Roscoe. Second place, Blaine Lee. Third place,
Okay, we're live again. So Carson Mendonza gets a pin. That's a Weisinger bred hog sired by Lock It Up. No stranger to the show ring, those Lock It Up hogs for sure. Wintex bred deal there. That one goes out and right back in.
I think this was the next hog in.
I'm going to let
Botello?
you, Nick Botello from Las Banas.
Las Banas, the home of Nathan Cobb, but it looks like pending. Nobody knows what that one is or.
Yeah, we got a lot of pending. The breeder's name's Pending and sired by Pending. So you breeders and people entering these animals need to get us pedigrees.
The third one in there is Haley Montgomery from California. That's an Ottenwalter hog, again a Wedding Blues. 2435 is the next one. No, 2735 maybe. Carson drives that hog out here first. Weisinger bred. Lock It Up.
Saw that Lock It Up boy when I was there at Will and Jay's a couple of years ago when he was a young hog, man. He was pretty interesting, pretty cool then, and he's definitely bred on.
Comes out that Wedding Blues gilt. It's 2435, but I'm not seeing that on here.
We have another page. No. See if we can figure that one out. Erica, can you tell us who the 2435 is? It must be an ad. That's the back tag. What's that hog sired by? So the 2435 is Megan Guerin, hog sired by Short Bus. Who's a breeder on that one? That's an Ottenwalter hog. Interesting. That is one stout freak right there. Look at that thing coming at you.
Oh, she's here. It's just the wrong back tag.
Okay, we got it.
It's good because we didn't want to have to read my chicken scratch later if that was the case.
Yeah, your chicken scratch. You ought to see the way I draw it right.
Doesn't help that I'm freezing. I asked James to bring me my coat, but he's not doing it.
He's not very good at listening, you know that.
No, his wife's been trying for years, but
I think that might be a lost cause. Again, looky here, 3 blues at the top. I don't know. I'm kind of partial to this Short Bus gilt right here. I've been wrong every time. He picks one different than I pick. He must be hearing me and saying, I'm going to prove you wrong. But, man, that one's plenty stout. That one can make some stout ones.
what was this other blue gilt here?
This one closest to us or this other one?
This one closest, 4025. I don't think we decked out. Carly Long from Missouri.
Who bred that one? She bred that one too, huh? No,
Lily
Lily
May.
May. Lily May. Decked out. Must be a Chad Decker boar, huh? Oh, is that decked out boar? That's the one at Heimer's, maybe. Is that where he comes from? We're going to probably screw it up, so somebody send us who it is, but we're going to... Krish is on the prowl. She's going to figure it out.
Yeah, you're right. That's that Heimer boar.
I always thought so. That boar's at Heimer's. I think that... I don't remember what his pedigree is. We'll see if we can figure that one out. See if your safari will get it done, huh? He's a distinct visionary. Who bred that one? Bred by Decker. Well, I got that part right.
You did get that part right.
I did got that part
He
right.
is a Decker boar.
Pretty dead giveaway by the name, though, right? Travis having a little more trouble here. What's this blue gilt here the closest to us? That one's probably the different one of the bunch. This kid bred it. Cool. 4025.
Let's give it up here for this class. This is a tremendous class of middleweight crossbred gilts. And going ahead and let 4 drive. We're deep all the way through, and it kills me to put one of these gilts fourth, third, or second because quality is that deep in this class, and I commend the breeders, the showmen. I mean, they're presented to the highest degree. It's a tremendous class. And the fun with the sword, I think, you know what, I just logically put it together in my head, and I think that there's one that's the combination deal of these four that puts together a look and design that you love from the side, one that's square underneath, and she's got muscle and bone, and just puts a lot of good things together. Congratulations, young lady in purple shirt. You got the class winner, and I think a real good one as far as congratulations. For second, I think there's one that falls into place, and she came out early, and man, I thought this is a good class winner. She's going to play, and she's tremendously good. That young man with the belly gilt deserves a round of applause for her second place place because she is tremendously good. She's great in the center part of her body. She's a heavy skeleton kind of a hog. Maybe just not quite the look that our class winner has. And is she good looking enough? Absolutely, because she's an awfully good gilt to be second in a competitive class. Third and fourth were close to me. I elected to use this young lady third. I like this gilt, her bone, her stoutness, the body that she's got. She's extremely square-legged. I think a very, very high-quality gilt, and one that's maybe not quite as long as her rump as the other two, but man, she's up on her pasture. She's heavy structured. I think a real good one to put third. The fourth place gilt, as barrel oriented as you want to make one in terms of bone and ruggedness, still mobile off both ends. She's probably a little out there in terms of her moderation and frame size and stoutness for a breeding gilt show, but that kills me to put her fourth because she's got a lot of breeding value there, one that can make the next boar or barrow there, because she's got power, muscle, and center body. Maybe want to give her a little more overall depth and just a little more, raise her up a little bit up front at the same time. The fifth place gilt comes out, gives you a good look on the side, not near enough, just stoutness. You can crack her open when she comes right at me. Good looking, gives you a nice look there all the way through. You need to see more true muscle shape. I visited the remainder of the class. Extremely good class, real good top end. Let's commend those exhibitors with a nice round of applause.
Our first place winner. Second place, Carson Mendoza. Third place, Carly Long. Fourth place, Megan Guerin. Fifth place, Nick Botello. Sixth place, Amanda Parkinson. Seventh place, Krista Cooper. Eighth place, Haley Lodgman. Ninth place, Hannah Harkinsworth. And in 10th place, Connie Roberts. Congratulations, we're now ready for Class 18 division weights of 291 to 298.
So I got a text from our friend Ed Tice there, Krisha, and he wanted to know how many classes. I sent him a response, but we had 9 in Division 1. We're going to have 9 in Division 2, which is this is the last class of that division, and then we'll have 8 in Division 3. Then we'll bring those back and run for the top 10 in each of those divisions, which we've already done in 1, and then we'll come and pick our top end in our gilts and run those to see which ones make the sale tonight. My guess is Travis put 22 in the purebred sale. My guess is we'll put somewhere between 20 and 25 crossbreds in the crossbred part of the sale. But we will have a Supreme gilt drive after the crossbred drive.
Looks like Aaliyah Rogers caught the first pen there. No secret that she's had some success here. What was that, 2 years ago she won the gilt show?
Yes, 2 years ago. She was reserving showmanship yesterday, and
a lot of winning at the California State Fair and beyond with her.
Kid works hard.
Cowboy Swag from Otten Walters.
Second one in. We'll get his number when this.
Jack Odell from California.
Yep.
Pending and pending. So
that's a pending.
Ernest, if you'd like to get
Your
with
du-
us on where
your
that one
ducks in
came
a
from
row. Yeah, come
and
on.
what it is.
It's top secret.
Pendingly secret.
Just a reminder, if you were first, second, or third in any of those classes, came through this class, you will need to be lining up in the back in the makeup area, so please go get your gilts now. We need those brought up. Dinah will call you. We need first place gilts at this time, and then she'll call up seconds and thirds, so please start making your way or be by your pins so that we can get you loaded into the makeup
Another
area at this
Heimer
time.
hog going in the scale right now.
That's Haven Steel. That has had a lot of success on our jackpot circuit.
It's another dirty secret.
Sounds like a broken record.
Yeah, another dirty secret. Another nice one. We got Lauren Ferguson from Kerrville, Texas. Lidner Show Pigs here. V40 is the sire on that gilt. So that's the dirty secret gilt that's been top side of.
Yeah, she has. She's had a lot of success on the jackpot circuit. And matter of fact, our jackpot circuit, you can show those gilts in the market division and the breeding, and that one's been flip-flopping back and forth, and I don't think anybody can catch her in the points. That gilt single-handedly's dominated the points for that young lady. I'll let you be the scribe. Did we call anybody out yet and get anything good coming back? Thanks for the comment there, Ed. Glad you're in Iowa enjoying the cool weather and watching a little football. So first one out is the Cowboy Swag with Leah Rogers. Then the next one out is the 6839. That Tristian Rasco. 6597. The one of Tristian's, that a Heimer bred deal or lack?
Dirty secret as well.
Dirty secret.
Team Sloan, actually.
Sloan hog. She's going right to the scale.
You missed the visionary hog out there, raised by Generation X. Hannah Hawksworthy, I believe that is.
Okay, we missed that one, didn't we?
Did he weigh that hog already or not?
I don't know. I missed
He
that.
hadn't weighed Tristan's.
He hadn't read Tristian's, but I don't
and
think
he's
he
gonna
weighed that
pin
other
that.
one. He's
Yeah,
going to
he's
pin
gonna
that
pin
one
that
off. He did things a little different this time.
Threw
I think
us off.
Travis keeping us on our toes here.
He's going to go ahead and put Aaliyah.
That one just needs a little more center today. That one's a little hollow.
Interesting pieces for sure.
For sure.
Tristan's going to end up fourth. Dirty Secret Hog raised by Team Sloan. She was going to have a hard time showing two of them anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Tough gig, right? Two in the drive. Well, a lot of differences in this class.
Jack Odell. Don't know what that one is or where it came from. This Lindner hog is pretty interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Super flexible, but when that one's out there, that one's got a whole bunch of everything.
Just her shape and dimension to her rib cage, I think, is pretty unique in this class.
And what's she sired by again?
She's a V40.
Whatever that is. Bet you're going to find out. Yeah, these gilts get to this size, they're pasture and start to show you what they are. But these hogs are plenty mobile for sure. Here we go. Let's see what Travis does.
Way to finish our final class of the second division, and I think all three of these belted gilts bring a lot of quality to the table. I took a little more time in this class, try to get that top pair right, because I think both of them offer quality all the way through. I read one with just a little more mobility in terms of the way they utilize their hind leg. Advantage goes to the young lady over here. Congratulations to her. I like that gilt hind leg on the side, one that opens up with some spread and shape. Good in the center part of her body. Maybe not the trendiest or coolest up in her head and neck. Looks like she'll be a tremendous kind of a female with good feet and legs. This gilt second is awfully good. Congratulations to this young lady too, because she's got a tremendous amount of breeding value. For me, maybe just want to take a little bit longer step and just stretch her a little bit off both ends. But when I take that one home to breed, absolutely, because she offers a lot of quality. She's as pulled apart as you can make one. Just want to stretch her a little bit off both ends in terms of just length of body. I don't want a real long body, but I just getting critical on her. I think she offers a lot of quality. Just want to stretch her ever so slightly. Nice sound-footed kind of a gilt that lands in third. Just runs out of power compared to the other two in the center part of her body. One that's got enough bone and enough look. Just give her a little more just overall power in the center part of her body as well. Fourth place gilt comes out, one that kind of worked her way up in terms of mobility. Gives you a great look on the side. She just caves in a little bit too much up front and behind. The one that is from the side as good as anything in this drive. Just need to get her pulled apart from off the ground as she goes right away. The next one that comes out is one that's probably not found the feet bucket here the way it looks, because she's awesome from a head and neck standpoint. She's a huge-legged, sound-footed kind of a gilt. Just need to see more right there in the center part of her body for this class. I got into some heat there, but one we just want to see a little bit fuller all the way through. Next one comes out, gives you an awesome look. She just came in too much and she comes right at me. She goes away with not as much security, offers some shape, offers some look. I visited with the remainder of the young men and young women down the way. Congratulations to them. Let's give a nice round of applause and encouragement as they head back. First place, Lauren Ferguson. Second, Haven Steele. Third, Jack Odell. Fourth, Tristan Raska. Fifth, Aaliyah Rogers. Sixth, Hannah Hawksworth. Seventh, Smith Hilker. Eighth, Andrew Anderson. Ninth, Jesse Ledesma. 10th, Robert Corey. Congratulations, and 11th, Peyton Montgomery. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We'll now begin our Division 2 drive. From class number 10, JT Stinson from California. From class 11,
Travis Higgins from California. From Class 12, Gage Winners from Oklahoma. From Class 13, Tyler Nasser from Arizona. From Class 14, Ethan McKeague from California. From Class 15, Lane Mazik from Michigan. From Class 16, Tristan Rasco from Texas. From Class 17, Haley Montgomery from California. And from Class 18, Lauren Ferguson from Texas. Let's give all of our exhibitors a big round of applause for our Division II champion drive. Let's put our hands together out here for all 9 of our class winners in the middleweight Crossbred show. It's been a real good one, and it's fun to sort quality, as I said, the last 2 days, and I think we've had quality within this division and all day, and I think there was always a handle. Some classes maybe been a little bit deeper, but I'm real pleased with all 9 of our class winners out here. There's no need to discuss them. I think it comes down to 4 or 5 of them, and with that said, I think that there's one that probably sticks out to me in terms of being the combination hog, the one that's great looking on the side. She's as powerful as you want to make one. She's got huge legs, very attractive, and still mobile off those ends. Congratulations, young lady in purple. You got a Congratulations to Haley Montgomery from California. Out of class number 17, we drop in Carson Mendonza.
before coming into the division, I thought that there was 2 or 3 of them that kind of stuck out in my mind, and I thought the champion Gilts just kind of stood out in terms of being the combination of all of them. For reserve, I think there's another one that hit me awfully hard in terms of proportions. Maybe not quite as busted apart right underneath comparing to our champion in this division, but I love her, just her uniformity that she has. She's balanced, she's sound, she's square. I like the Calico second best. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tristan Rasco from Texas. That brings in our second place individual from class number 16, Blaine Lee from Washington.
There's another one that hit me awfully hard in class, and in terms of bone and structure, one that I love, and she's a really, really attractive kind of a gilt that offers some shape. Maybe not quite as much in her forerib and center body, but a tremendous kind of a gilt. I like that blue and third best.
Congratulations to Tyler Nasser from Arizona. That brings in Dustin Andrus from California.
For fourth, there's another one that came out of a tremendous kind of a class, and I think one that's super powerful, great in the center part of her body, and one that looks like to be a tremendous kind of a style. I like that little guy in the red suit for us overall. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Carson Mendonza from California. That brings in Carly Lee.
There's another one that I think it offers quality and soundness in won her class relatively easily. Flexible, great center body. She's wanting to give out a little bit on the young man, but I think a tremendous kind of a gilt. I like this one next best. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Lane Mazik from Michigan. That brings in Justin Lee from California.
Another kind of a female that I would take home all day of the week. Impeccable hip and hind legs. She came out of a competitive class. Young way out of last class. Congratulations in that style.
Congratulations to Lauren Ferguson from Texas. That brings in Haven Steele from Arizona.
I'm not going to split that pair. That was an awfully good pair of them. Congratulations, your next out.
Congratulations to Haven Steele of Arizona. That brings in Jack Goodell from California.
Next one, I think, follows our deepest class of the day. She got a little tighter as she gets out here, but I like this blue gilt next best. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations to Carly Lee from Missouri. We don't drop in anyone from that class.
The next one out, I like her hip, I like her hind legs. She won her class real easy. Little guy right here is going to be next out with this gilt.
Congratulations to Gage Winners from Oklahoma. That brings in Megan Guerin from California.
For our final spot in this division, I think there's another one that gives you a great look. I like her structure, I like her look in that class. Maybe not quite as full in the center part of her body, but I like her heaviness of structure and casting set. I like this blue gilt for 10th. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Justin Lee, 10th from California. Congratulations, champion of Division 2 was Haley Montgomery from California. Reserve champion Division 2, Tristan Rasco from Texas. Third, Tyler Nasser from Arizona. Fourth, Carson Mendonza from California. Fifth, Lane Mazik from Michigan. Sixth, Lauren Ferguson from Texas. Seventh, Haven Steele from Arizona. 8th, Carly Lee from Missouri. 9th, Gage Winners from Oklahoma.